first three actually, right? That's what we were doing. First three homeworks and lessons. Okay, 2 or 3. How much do we have to do?
You just said
3,
that
right?
3, yes.
The first 3. Okay, so the pronouns. Yes, that's fine. So let's start here, right? Very important for us to be precise, so we don't take too long. Let's start here with the homework. We're gonna start with the homework database. Let me share the screen with you. Here we go. Okay, so we've got this one's the first one. These ones are very easy. Okay, I'm gonna ask you specific questions. Here, number 3. In which versus where? Which one and why?
Well, where is a relative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where we use where when we are talking about, or the sentences about a place,
Yes,
a real place.
right.
So I think that's not correct.
Because in this case, we're talking about a phenomenon, right?
Yeah, a
And a
phenomenon.
phenomenon is not a real place.
A phenomenon is the plural or the singular? The singular, right?
The singular phenomena would be plural.
Okay.
Okay? Very good. Phenomenon is plural. So in this case, where is wrong? In which would work, right? In which would be okay. Very good. Now we go here to this one. Okay, this one's a good one. Here the answer would be C. What's wrong with all the other ones? One by one.
Okay. Which is modifying phenomena? I think that's okay,
On the
right?
first one, or which letter are you analyzing?
Letter A,
Okay,
yes.
that's not okay.
No? Oh,
No.
but it grammatically is before a verb, a new phenomena. Okay, well, mm, I don't know, but I learned before that every time saw a witch, common a witch, it is true that in the majority of the cases are this is wrong,
I'm sorry. In major cases, what?
that a common a witch is wrong, or
No, no, no.
not
We've been
necessarily.
doing that a long time since modifiers, right?
Okay,
We never eliminate because of that.
okay, but okay. Um,
What do we do when we see which? Because this one is easy to eliminate, huh? Which that is which here.
which
How do we review it?
modifies phenomena, right?
Yep. But how do you review it?
Mm,
I mean, here we have some steps for which.
okay. The first one was well, just,
First one is to have a comma.
yes, yes.
Second one to have a noun that you're modifying. And number 3, which
Ah,
maybe is the
the
most
verb,
important,
right?
agreement with the verb. Phenomena is plural, is a singular. Okay, so that one easy. Yeah, easy. Now let's see what else. Is there anything else that's wrong or not? So this one's out quickly. Is there anything else that is wrong or not?
Letter A or letter B?
In letter A, is there anything else that is wrong?
Uh, well, which beggars? Which is modifying vendors? What beggars? I
Why
think
is that incorrect?
because we just said that which is singular.
Sorry, again.
Uh, the same reason we eliminated before, right?
No, no, no.
No,
You
but
can't
beggars.
go which is against the thing. Let's see. You have which here. How do we analyze it? Take your time. Take your time. We need more practice there with which. Include is a
It's a
plural or
plural
singular?
verb. Yes, it's a
Plural, so that's not a problem. What is the problem? There is something else is a problem.
mm. We're talking
Beggars
about
and vendors are
wave of vendors.
okay. If you say waves, if you're modifying waves, then that's fine. Okay, but it's kind of weird because then there will be a problem too. The waves cannot include children. A wave cannot include children.
Okay.
See? So, but if you're modifying vendors and beggars, let's say they say, okay, I'm not modifying waves, I'm modifying vendors and beggars. What would the problem be?
Vendors and beggars.
Because vendors and beggars can include children. But what would the problem be in that case?
Mm,
Which can never be used for people.
oh, yes.
Who it is for people.
Who?
Okay?
Right. Yes.
Who? Okay. So two mistakes there. Quick mistakes also. Let's see. What about the others?
Visible. And letter B, it's this is right different, right? Visible. It looks like a passive. Visible manuals, major intersection are waves of vendors and beggars. So first is the verb. How was this called? I don't remember. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
mm, I think it's because it starts with visible at Manawas major intersections. It how's the
Why would that be wrong?
not wrong, but this is passive voice or not? Not
It's kind of no, not a passive voice. It's just inverting the subject and the verb.
okay.
That's kind of a little ugly. But that's not a big, let's say, problem.
Oh, well, okay. With many, we can use that.
With many, what's wrong with that?
Mm, what is a preposition? Many, a pronoun, right?
Yeah,
Mm,
which pronoun is similar to noun.
okay, so I can find the room.
Let's go with something else then. Let's go with something else.
Mm,
Important. We have to. This is part of the homework to see which ones you can understand. You let me know. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you later after we are done with this exercise what's wrong with B. Actually, the video does. Right. The video goes over why B is wrong. Let's see the other two. Well, the
okay.
last two. Which one can you eliminate?
The parallelism there, vendor beggar and many children. Many is it's not correct. Oh yes, because we're
Many.
yes,
Why? Why not? Why many is incorrect?
because we're talking about nouns,
I don't get it.
vendor beggars, vendors beggars, and children. Many is not necessary, or is
Let's see. Vendors, beggars. What is many for children?
adjective or
Adjective. Okay,
yes.
so an adjective is makes it wrong, makes the parallelism wrong or not.
Mm, I think so.
Okay, cool. We're showing a lot of basic mistakes. Basic mistakes here. Too many basic mistakes. If I say the car, the book, and the red watch, is it parallel or not? Or red is wrong?
No, no, no.
It's
It's okay.
fine, right? So adjectives do not change the composition of parallelism. If if many were long, yes, because you have an adjective and two nouns. But here we have many just with a noun, not a problem at all. So that list is clean.
Okay. intersection which mob car. Okay, so which is incorrect because there isn't which mob cars. There is no
Hmm.
verb after which.
There is no verb. Mob is a verb.
Oh right, which intersections mob cars. Mob is a steal, right?
Steal, yeah, to steal.
Major intersections. The adverb phenomenally new wave of vendors.
That could imply a changing meaning.
Yes, because it's different. Can I eliminate because of that?
Yes, you could eliminate because that's not the strongest way though. There is a very easy thing we're overlooking,
New
which is a
waves.
switch. Why is that which incorrect?
Because it's modifying intersections.
Okay, and why is that wrong?
Because intersections can move cars.
That's it. Easy. That was a huge mistake. That's nonsensical. And nonsensical is the first degree. So that was just totally incorrect. Phenomenally is also a big mistake. Yeah, it's a big change in meaning. Big change. But it's not as strong as this which here. Okay. Either way, those two are the reasons why letter D is quickly out. Okay. But not because of the list. Now, one important thing also, we have to get here a little bit more organized. You came here and you reviewed and first. That's not a good move. By this time, we should know that parallelism is harder to do than which, for example. Which is one of the easiest keywords we're going to find. So if I read this, right away I go after which, not the parallelism. Okay? And then, of course, the parallelism here is it's quickly we know this is fine because adjectives cannot change the composition. Okay? So remember, it's also about choosing our keywords or our splits correctly. So things that are very easy are which, for example, pronouns and correlatives. Those are easy. You can review them right away and say, okay, is this fine? 5 seconds, right? Parallelism usually takes a little bit more time. If it's parallelism of nouns, right? List of nouns, it's not too hard, but some other parallelisms they get harder, right? Very good. So D is out. D is out. Which one? A was out. Now let's eliminate one of them. Let's say.
Okay, away from the reviewers. Mm, so reviewing the last one, a way of vendors and beggars, many of whom are children. So a wave is a noun, right?
And wave is a noun. Yes.
So of vendors and beggars is a preposition.
Right.
So are visible is modifying a wave, and that's not correct.
Arvis was not a modifier, it's a verb, but yes, the subject is a wave, and that's incorrect, okay? That's an easy elimination. Good. Now, what's wrong with B?
Mm.
Okay? New phenomena is modifying what?
Okay.
Children.
And in phenomenon is in plural, and children is
Right. Children is plural, but children, I mean, all children is only one phenomenon, right? It's not several phenomena. The children as a group is only one phenomenon.
how's that?
Because,
Children is just one phenomenon.
yeah, I mean, or each child is a phenomenon? No. What is a phenomenon here? That you have a social phenomenon, right?
Yes.
That something is going on that disrupts, let's say, a society, right? It's only one phenomenon. They're talking about only one. No, it should be phenomena. We're going to
Okay.
say that each child is a phenomenon. Right? So this whole thing that is happening with the beggars and children is only one phenomenon.
Okay. So the plural is wrong there.
Yes, phenomenon makes no sense. Okay, and then mob cars is also wrong because the phenomenon does not mob cars.
Mm,
Children and the beggars. You see?
okay.
So that's the thing here with that one. Okay, so those are up. Okay, so really quickly, you have to strengthen which ASAP. Because which here to eliminate, let's say, letter A and to eliminate letter D should be easy, quick. Okay, we need to save time there. And then the other ones will take a little bit more time. Letter E is easy also, wave, right? R. And then maybe B is the hardest one. But A and E and D should be 5 seconds, not 15, 20. Okay, good. Go to number 5. Now this one. This one's too easy. Let me check this out. Have been dated, included. Okay. All right. Here the answer is A. What's wrong with B?
Mm, the ing growing as big as their long and growing is modifying well.
That's modifiers. Do we have our theory of ing?
Ah yeah, ing is a gerund. Could be a gerund if it's a noun, or could be an adjective.
Mm, okay, in this case, what is it? It should be easy to notice what this is. Homework number 4, modifiers. Big thing from that lesson.
Mm,
What is a comma ing?
as a consequence.
Not only a consequence. That's an explanation or a consequence. That's an adverb.
Okay.
It's an adverb. Okay. So that's an adverb. So how do we review that adverb?
The adverb just modifying another adverb or a verb.
No, we have a specific theory for this.
Okay.
What are the 2 steps you have to use to review a comma ing? Okay, let's go to modifiers again.
Okay.
Go to modifiers here. We have modifiers. And this specific theory is here, right? This one. Okay. So when you have an ing after a comma at the end or in the middle of a clause, that's a huge indication, and it's very common that we're talking about an adverb. Function of the adverb of the ing. We shouldn't confuse it with a gerund or with a verb. Yeah? Then, what we have here, this whole thing is either gives you an explanation of how, a consequence, or a context, right? Are we okay with this? We remember how it gives you each one?
Yes.
Okay. How do you check for it? It's always going to modify, not always, but most of the time it's going to modify a verb. We're simplifying this because we haven't seen the whole whatever, but we're simplifying this. So far, we have to know that that ing modifies the verb here. And we have to check it in 2 ways, right?
Yes.
Number one, the verb, if it gives you one of these functions, of course, context most of the time won't be able to be because you need having for context. And number two, you need to make sure that the subject of that verb is able to perform the action. Okay, able to perform the action. So, what is wrong here? The guitar was played by me using all my fingers. Using all my fingers It's modifying was played. It's telling me how it was played, so that's fine. But then once I see the subject of was played, that's the guitar, and that's incorrect because the guitar cannot use all my fingers. Okay,
Okay.
this is something we've done several times in homework, though. Several times in homework. That homework has like at least 7 or 8 instances in which you have to do this.
Okay. Yep.
Let's go back here to the this one. So, what is wrong with B?
But that was the theory of lesson 4, right?
Yes,
Modifiers.
modifiers.
Okay. Well, growing up is redundant.
Yes, growing up is redundant. Okay, growing up is redundant. But what happens with B?
Okay. Growing. So it's an adverb.
Yes.
It's based on being of the often closer towards, and in fact. So there we're talking about a killer wave, right?
Okay.
Or well, or the animal. Mm, um, so could the well, I should ask if the killer whale could grow as big as 30 feet long.
No, 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 no. Here we're going against the lesson number 4. Remember something very important. First thing we do with lesson number 4 modifiers is we have to make the difference in adjectives and adverbs. That's the first thing in lesson number 4.
Okay.
Adjectives modify nouns, adverbs modify verbs.
Yes.
Totally, that's how we start modifiers all the time.
Yes. Yes.
So you've decided that growing modifiers well, but no, because it's an adverb. You said it at the beginning. It's an adverb.
Oh
It's not going to modify the noun.
but at first he said that it was wrong because it was modifying the noun. Yeah, it's wrong because it's modifying the noun, right?
I mean, it could modify noun. Yes. I mean, if it wants to modify killer whale, that would be wrong. Let's say so. Okay. It's trying to modify killer whale, and it cannot do so. Okay? I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that. But let's see. That's okay. Now that's why that's wrong. Let's go here with um. Let's go with 1.2. Okay, 1.2. These are intermediate ones. Let's see. Here we go with the answer is letter P. What's wrong with A and what's wrong with D?
Bluegrass musician. Perrito. Mm, so was is not correct
Was is not correct. Why?
because we're talking about bluegrass musician Bill Monroe.
But
Um,
why?
well, okay, could be correct. Was this referring to Bill Monroe? Yes, right.
Apparently, yes. So that's not a problem.
Was also inspiration. to many musicians whose in referring to Elvis and Jerry, music differed significantly from his own. Mm, okay. I know, apparently today I don't see anything.
Okay, this homework though, you have to come prepared here because I mean, what we're doing right now is to basically going over the whole platform. That's a big work. That's a
Okay.
big one. And so, like I told you last class, it's a big one because that will help us be precise here on sense correction. It's not
Okay.
like we want to do it all over again, right? Because if we do them again, we're going to take a long time.
Okay.
To the whole platform the class, we're going to take like 6, 7 classes, right? That's not the idea. The idea is just to go over each one, but that's fine. That's fine though. Now you do need to review your work though. You need to review some theories that I mean, you know them, but you don't have them fresh. You don't have them fresh,
Okay.
and you need to have them fresh because right now you need to have all the 8 theories. Basically, those theories are like a toolbox, right? You need to have them all ready to kind of start tackling each one. Okay, so I'm gonna explain things to you here, and for this class, then we're gonna do some of this. All right. So letter A, the problem is this that here. Why do you think that's a problem?
Okay, so that have four. I remember that has four functions. That include.
When you have a that plus a verb, that's a relative. There is another function. That plus verb
Okay.
only relative,
Okay, so apart from
and a
the.
relative is always an adjective. Always.
Okay, I didn't remember that. So that could also be okay. That plus a verb is an adjective. So I can write in my sheet um like a five use of that. The five in number five. Another use of
What
that.
do you mean? What do you mean the 5 use of that?
No, because I have in my sheet like
I
that.
mean, yeah, that has four functions.
Yes.
That's one of the lists. That's fine. It's fine for you to know. But in order for us to kind of identify which function it is working as right now, we have this tools, right? For example, that plus verb, it's always a relative. And a relative, that plus verb is always an adjective. There is nothing else. So that in that way we don't get lost within those four functions. We already know which function it is.
Okay. So here is an adjective, and therefore it's wrong to modify a verb.
It is an adjective, it is wrong to modify a verb.
No, no, no,
Be
no.
careful. Be careful what you're how you are applying modifiers. Sir.
Okay. So that plus included is an adjective. Okay. Mm, that included Elvis. So it's something wrong with Elvis that those nouns who is that is modifying.
Perhaps yes, most likely. So what now is it modifying? So when you have an adjective, you have to check the noun that it's getting modified, right? What is getting modified right now?
Uh, Elvis Presley and Jerry Garcia, the musicians.
What noun is getting modified right now? A noun. There's a noun that is getting modified. Not the content, not the meaning. Just what noun is getting modified.
Hmm. Brewer as a musician, Bill Monroe.
Musicians,
Oh yes.
right? Now it cannot modify this thing. This is part of a modifier. When we say, for example, I like the books that are on the table. If I say, okay, what is that relative pronoun modifying? Table. No, that are on the table is a whole modifier. I should be modifying the noun that it's touching. Okay, So that is a modifying table. That around the table is only one modifier. That included blah 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 is one modifier. This thing is one modifier. What is it modifying? Musicians.
Okay.
Okay. Now, having said that, what what's a mistake? There's a big mistake.
Mm, that included is modifying musicians. There is a grammatically correct, a error.
Yep. It's a meaning error that musicians are people,
Yes.
and that
Cool.
cannot modify people. Okay.
Okay.
That cannot modify people. That there we go. Out. B is the answer. What's wrong with D? Something wrong with this when compared to.
No, no. The first thing. When is the relative who um, modifies place times, right?
Yes, it modifies times.
So it couldn't be modified significantly.
But when is not only an adjective. When and where could be adverbs. So that could be modified and deferred. It's not a problem. Different than that plus verb, which plus verb, who plus verb, those are adjectives only. Where and when can be adverbs.
Okay. Or the music of whom differs significantly when compared to. So when is it could be is my work is to know if it's an adjective or an adverb.
Yeah, it could be an adjective or adverb. In this case, it's not touching a noun, so we assume it's an adverb. And if it's modified and deferred correctly, when could be fine. There's another problem though that has to do with idioms.
Compared
Look
with.
at the splits. Look at the splits. Always focus on the splits.
Okay. Word inflation.
Here the problem is idioms.
Compare. Compare. So it's significantly from says in the
Nope. The idiom is
just
different from.
different from.
Different or deferred, they go with from. There you go. Okay. Different, deferred from. So we need a from in there. That's the one. Okay. So B. In this case, let's go here. All right. Here. No, this one. Here. No. No. I think. No. Okay. So here the answer would be mm, A. Right. What is wrong with B? I'm sorry, with C. C is the easiest one, I think. What's wrong with C?
You hearing that? In, in so difference are is a noun, right?
Differences is a noun, yes.
So difference helps is by the two ears helps the listener determine the. I don't know if it's related. Difference with helps.
Um, tell me. That's very easy though. That's
Yes,
just way
it's
too easy.
yeah,
That's just way
it's
too easy for a question. Come on.
yeah. I know it's wrong. So for
Let's
the
see. Come on. Come on. Let's try to do this, Josue. We're just like going too basic.
yeah, I know. Sorry. It's because it's a number, right?
I'm sorry.
Is a problem with a number?
Right, because that's a subject, right? That's a subject. That's a verb. So help
Yes.
is up. Okay, that's just take that out. Very easy. What about what's a keyword in the last two?
Between how the two words here against all happiness in the. So it's kind of change the way it is present the noun.
Okay, but what's well, there's a split. What's a split about? We have to focus on splits.
Helps and help.
Nope. Their split is this one. They add the word between.
I know. Okay.
First two don't have the word between. Now the word between is a keyword or not? What do you think?
Yes, it's a correlative, right? Between
It's
x
a
and
correlative idiom,
yes,
correct? So in that case, what happens?
between x and y. So between
Do you
how
have that? No. So those are
no.
out. Okay. So why is A the answer and not B?
Okay, in how the 2 years zone how the listener determine. So in determining is a complex verb.
In determining is a complex gerund? No. That's when you have in plus an ing. That's a different thing. That's just a prepositional phrase.
Okay.
It's
Here,
common to have ing after prepositions like by, right? Of ing.
in how the 2 years.
Usually they will be part of idioms. Not by plus ing. By plus ing is an adverb. But other ones are going to be parts of idioms. They're very ugly unless they go um, and are part of the idiom.
Okay. So it changed the meaning.
Changes the meaning, yes, it changes the meaning. But here, that's not what matters the most. Idioms.
In the 2 years here, I saw how
Do
that
we
is.
have the idioms for help?
Ah, yes, yes.
What are the idioms for help?
So the first one is hold plus infinitive plus a base verb,
Hmm.
and the other one was hold plus in plus ing, I think.
Help plus in plus ing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so in this case, why do you need determining and not indetermining?
Help plus in plus in finding his book. Help. Mm, because the is we saw that the idiom, right?
I'm sorry?
Both those um, can I relate it with the idioms? So though both of those are correct in terms of idiom.
They both can be correct in terms of idioms.
Okay.
When you have, what is the idiom for help? Help, when it is a verb, needs either an infinitive
Ah, okay,
or
right.
the base
And
verb.
the other one was is when help is a noun.
When
Yes.
help is a noun, then you need the in plus ing.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
okay.
that's why A is correct because in this case, help is a verb.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I forgot about the noun. The verb. Okay.
Right, right. Let's go to number 7. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see this one. Well, we're going to do this one's a little tricky. The answer here would be this one. What's wrong with the first one?
So from it could be a correlative or not necessarily.
Could be, but not necessarily.
From the studies of the brain. So come is the verb of I'm I'm not sure. I think it's not correct, but studies is the noun. It isn't right.
It is. It can be.
No, so
Easy.
there is
Lesson
no.
number one.
So
Why? Why couldn't status be the noun?
because it's inside from
There
a
you go.
subordinate clause. Uh,
Subordinate
no,
clause. Come on, Jose. What are we saying right now?
from is
What is a subordinate clause? Let's talk about the subordinate clause. What is a subordinate
no,
clause?
yeah. Subordinate clause could also have a subject and a verb. It's a preposition.
Subordinate clause is a subordinator
Um,
plus a subject
yeah.
plus a verb.
From is a
Okay,
preposition. Yes.
that's a prepositional phrase. Okay,
Yes.
good. So the verb is come. What you have to check is what's your subject.
Yes. I think it's which is located in the back of brains, right? Come what about dinosaur? It looks like the now the noun is after the verb.
The noun is after.
Uh,
Yes, I mean, what's the subject though?
from the story of
We
the
have to take care here carefully identify the subject.
what's the subject? Which is the cranium is a modifier
Yep,
located in the back of the skull.
skull.
Sorry, skull located in the back of the skull. Located skull. What will be located in the back of the skull?
The
Skull.
cranium. That's a modifier for a cranium. That's an adjective. How do we know that's an adjective? Because it has an
Ed.
ed.
Right. Yes.
Right, that's an adjective.
So the first one was a prepositional phrase. The second one is a modifier. The other one was also modifying the cranium. So
Yep.
there is no more possibility for the noun or the subject. Come with okay, but come could be is a verb is a main verb.
Come is the main verb.
Yes,
Yes, definitely. That's the only thing that could be the verb.
I still think it could be dinosaur brains.
Dinosaur brains. Mm, but dinosaur brains is chatting
Yes, half an
about is a preposition. So
yes.
the actual subject would be this whole thing.
What scientists
The
know about?
subordinate clause. That is a subordinate clause.
Okay,
What plus a clause. So that's your subject. We know that clauses can be subjects. They're ugly subjects. They could be. Now here you have your subject, the clause, and then you have the verb come. Okay, is that okay though? What do we have to do?
I didn't hear that.
What do we have to do? So it's fine. How do we check if a subject and a verb are okay?
We compare logically and then what grammatically and then logically.
There you go. Let's do that.
Brain. Well, so what scientists know about dinosaur brains come from studies of the bony house of the brain.
Yep. So is that okay?
No.
Grammatically, what's wrong with that?
Mm,
Lesson number one.
Logically, it's incorrect.
No.
Mm, then the number comes. Uh, Scientists know when dinosaur brains come from studies of the body of the brain. I don't think it has something to be with the number.
Yes, the number.
Yeah.
Lesson number one tells you whenever you have a phrase, so subordinate clause, something like that, a gerund that is a subject, that would be a singular. Come is a plural. There you go.
Okay. Just to
Okay.
remember. So every time I have a phrase,
One
like this.
phrase, whatever phrase it could be an ing, an infinitive, a subordinate clause, that serves as a subject will be singular, always.
Okay.
Okay, then let's see. What is wrong with, let's see, letter D is the answer. Letter C. What's odd with C?
Okay. Could be something about that brain, the parallelism in the second part of the sentence.
Why?
So it's located and it's called.
What's wrong with that?
We're talking about the brain, right?
Hmm.
So the brain is located by skull, that's correct, but it's called the cranium. The brain is called the cranium.
You could talk about the house of the brain, the bony house of the brain, that whole thing.
Oh, okay. So
The bony
that's
house of the brain is located in the back of the skull, and it's called the cranium.
okay.
That
So
could work.
that's good. That could, yes.
I think there is something that seems redundant. Some redundancy here. Better see, especially around here.
The knowledge that scientists know. Oh, you're right. Knowledge and know.
Right, that one. Okay, so that's what is the answer. Let's see here. This one. This one is okay. This one is an intermediate one. Now this one's. Let's go to 1.3. Let's do the easy ones first. Okay. Now here, this one's easy. Answer for number one is A. What's wrong with B and with C?
So envisioning is a simple gerund.
Envisioning is a simple gerund.
Yeah.
Yes.
And critique is action noun.
Critique is an action noun. Critique is an action noun. Okay, that you're right. But that's C. You're saying C, right?
Yes, yes.
Envisioning is a simple gerund. Critique is an action noun. Okay, and why is it wrong? That's good.
Because just the only parallelism could be in between nouns is it as action noun and a complex verb.
Very good. Out.
Mm.
That was good. What about B?
Critique of choice or vulnerable. So again, action noun. Uh, Also, he's envisioning all of the is a complex gerund.
His envisioning is a complex gerund. Why? Because when you have a gerund plus a possessive like his, that's complex.
Okay.
Yeah. A critique is an action noun. Yes. So why is A preferable to B? Because B could be parallel, right? Complex gerunds with action nouns could be okay. Why is letter B preferable, or letter A preferable to B?
because um because we're comparing here two action nouns and we prefer that over the other type of parallelism.
Yes. All right. We have to know that these complex gerunds, even though they are grammatically correct, they could be fine, but they are very ugly. So if we have one option that gives us two action nouns, we're going to go with that one. Okay, that's good. So this one has been good. Nice. What about here? This one. Here, answer is C. Why not D? That's a question.
Oh, okay. So what D is wrong?
Why is D wrong? Correct.
No knowledge. It could be something about a sitting form.
Be something with what? As it informed? Yeah,
Yeah,
it could be with something like what? What in particular? What word? Informed or it?
it.
Okay, perfect. So what's that's a good thing. At least we are now like going after keywords, and that's important thing. Okay, now what is wrong with it, or what could be wrong with it?
What is wrong with it? So
Yes.
it is referring to it's not clear.
Okay. Why? Why is it not clear?
The literatures of China is development as a writer as it because we don't know what who is it referring.
But let's see. If we don't know what it's referring, you have to have at least more than one noun that it could refer to, right?
Okay, could
What are the
be
nouns that are
development
creating this confusion?
writer.
Writer can be,
Okay,
because writer
develop
is a person, so it can never refer to person.
exactly. Well, development. Well, couldn't be development either because a development can inform, right?
Could be. I mean, but no, we don't have to check whether it can inform or not. We don't have to check that. We have to check whether it's a noun. Can develop be an it? Yes.
Okay.
Can Japan be a it? Yes. Can knowledge be an it? Yes. All of them can be it. You see, we don't have to check the meaning so much because I mean, develop could inform. Who knows? I mean, I don't think it can, but it could. You see. Now, writer is different because writer just it's grammatically impossible. You see, because writer is a person, so a person can never be referred with it, not because of meaning, but because of grammar. We do this thing about ambiguity just because of grammar first. How many things can be it? Okay,
Yes. So writer could also be it, right?
a writer, no, writer is a
No.
person.
Okay,
People
but
cannot be referred with it. People get referred with he or she.
right.
Yeah, good. So that's why it is ambiguous. Now
The
let's go here with
the only
this.
the only thing that we have to be careful about is that the relative just be referring to something that can be referred to. In that case, in this cases, the relative, uh, the pronoun it, just referring to. those type of nouns, not persons, right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Now let's go here with this one. Not this one. Mm, okay. Here the answers. C. Okay. Why is A wrong and why is E? Why are they incorrect?
Go to bathe in milk, strawberries, or caviar is referring that they they bathe in all of those, but I think it's a different meaning.
Mm,
Caviar
what are you? A, right? A or E? What are you evaluating right now?
and strawberries that have been crushed. Letter A is a little bit wordy too,
Letter A is wordy. Okay. Why is it wordy? It's only
because
wordy.
have been crushed. Only wordy? No.
I mean, besides, if you say it's wordy, you're saying that it's got a slight mistake. And here it is not true. Here it's wrong. Why?
Hmm. I remember I did this good, but I don't remember why they eliminated the other ones.
A, but let's see. A. Let's just focus on A here. Check the parallelism.
Okay, so the first one is bathe. It's a verb,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Second one is strawberries, and that's a noun,
Mm,
or that had been
we
crushed.
never start with our list. That's a mistake we're making
Okay,
on the
so
left.
this to bathe is an infinitive. That had been crushed is a past perfect.
No, 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 no. That's not how we do parallelism. Where do we start our parallelism? Marker.
Oh yes, marker.
Marker. Careful with that. It's very basic.
Yes, I know.
Then we go in bathtub, prepositional phrases, in strawberries, in cold milk. Three prepositional phrases. So far, grammatically, it is okay. Okay. Now, the grammar is the only thing we check when we have parallelism.
No, logically too.
What is wrong with the logic here?
Hmm. Because to bathe, um, in the strawberry, it has something to be that bathe.
It has to do with bathtubs, right? Because you're saying here, you can bathe, right, in cold milk. Cold milk is what? It's a
Oh
substance,
yeah,
right?
so you can bathe
In
in bathtubs.
strawberries, or a substance in bath. You can bathe in bathtubs, yes, but it's not the same meaning as it's strawberries or cold milk because your original list was about substances, liquids that you're gonna uh, uh, just put in your body, right?
Yes.
Not bathtubs. That's a different meaning. So that's illogical. See? Okay, now E. What's wrong with E?
To bathe in milk, strawberries, or caviar. So okay, again we're comparing nouns, right? Caviar, strawberries, milk.
Yes.
To bathe in. So it doesn't make it have to have adjective it's
Maybe,
not
but why? Why does it have to have the adjective?
because to bathe in strawberries. Oh, doesn't sound logical. Or yes, or caviar.
You can bathe in strawberries. Yeah,
Well, yes.
it's logical, but what's the difference though? It's not about being logical here. It's about the original meaning.
Ah, okay, changing the meaning.
Right, because one thing is to say cold strawberries, another thing is to say just strawberries. Could be hot strawberries, or not, or crushed strawberries, right? So, or milk, right? So both of them make sense, but you want to preserve the meaning from the author. If you just trim it down too much, like in E, it's gonna be a different meaning. You see, it's gonna be different meaning. That's the difference. So there we go, and there we go with C. Okay. Let's go to 2.2. This one is an intermediate one. Let's go first with 3.1. Let's do intermediate ones. We have to do this. These are easy. So here, answer letter C. What is wrong with A?
Okay, in a plan to stop the erosion of East Coast beaches, the Army Corps of Engineers proposed building parallel to shore. Could be something about it.
Could be something about it. Okay, yes, very good. You are starting to notice keywords, especially pronouns. That's fine. So what would be wrong with it?
Okay, so as a buffer, so that is so it could refer to water line, to shore, uh no, to breakwater also. So it could refer to more than one thing.
Yes, nice, ambiguous. We call that ambiguity, but that's good. You have to outline. You have to mention the things that could be right. Waterline. You have here buffer. You have
Breakwater.
breakwater. You have the corps of engineers. You have tons of things that could be out. Nice, nice. What's wrong, for example, with T?
So we're talking about this before. Absorbing is with the ing, right? So
Very good.
is a consequence or a context or yep.
Letter C has absorbing also, so most likely that's going to be correct. What's the difference between C and D?
Oh yes. The first the verb acting as a buffer. The
Acting
tense
and act. Okay.
the tense are different
Okay. So why would C be better than D?
because we prefer the verb in his base form.
No, 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 no. There are tons of things you have to review, though. You're just seeing a little here. Just put it here, put it, insert it, and see what you have in there.
Okay. 06 about the word line and acting as a buffer is like mm, it changed the meaning.
No,
Mm.
no. Parallelism. This
Oh yes, an act
marker.
with build to shore.
Right.
Okay,
So here we have
to
will
shore.
building to shore a breakwater, right? Proposed building that will rise and act, not acting. There you go, parallelism. What happens with E?
Acting like a buffer. Like is used for comparisons.
Like is used for comparisons. Um, Yes, you could say so. I mean, that's one of its functions. That's one of its functions, right? But that's not the main thing, though. I mean, yeah, I mean, there are two differences. Good that you noticed. First of all, acting is wrong, right? We already know that. Like is also different than as, and absorb is different than absorbing. Both of them, you could go after both of them, but like I think it's a little harder. Just go with absorb. Why is absorb incorrect? Why do we need absorbing?
Yeah, because we're it's a consequence or
Check the whole sentence. Check the whole sentence. You're right in which it is a consequence. It could be an act. That's good, but the sentence will tell you what to do. I mean, if you look for keywords, it's very important for us to look for those keywords. For example, you're doing good with the pronouns, but you are overlooking tons of parallel markers here right now. You are not going for those markers. And you are not using them.
okay. Yeah, so and act as a buffer. No, act as a buffer, comma absorbing. So the question was, why would do we need the ing?
Why is it incorrect? Or is absorb fine or not?
What is incorrect? Absorb the energy of crashing waves. And so yeah, why absorb is incorrect.
Is it incorrect? Or maybe it's fine. Who knows? What do you think? What would you say?
Absorb is in plural, right?
There are keywords you're overlooking, especially parallel markers. Look for parallel markers. There are tons of them. You're overlooking right now a lot.
There is one and acts buffer, comma absorb the and bladder circles. So the only and is the plural marker there in this sentence.
And is a parallel marker in this sentence.
Yes,
Yes.
and there's
We have several answers, right?
oh yes, absorb the energy of correction weight and protecting. So yes, we must use ing because the
There
and
you go,
protect.
right? If we overlook the keywords, this is going to be tough.
Okay.
Okay, actually, just with those keywords, you get see. There we go. So let's start here with this one. Okay. No, this one's too difficult. Let's see. Mm, okay, let's do this one. This one is kind of easy. The answer here is letter A. What's wrong with the other ones? Just choose the one that is the easiest to eliminate.
The easiest to eliminate. Having been injured, also for me is because there is also a being there. So it's ugly. So the
Okay,
letter
ugly.
E,
Good.
letter yeah, also letter E.
Okay. Having been injured, being. Okay.
Those two, and was injured 3 times and discharged. There is also another being, letter C.
Letter C. Okay.
Okay. So injured 3 times and was discharged, and that's a marker. I think we just prefer to use the verb to be past form was.
But there's a preference for there to be, sure.
Oh no,
Where
just
have we seen that? What
no,
lesson?
just parallel. Was discharged. This is not parallel to injured. Um,
A little bit. That's yeah, because one is passive, the other is active. Yeah? But basically, the active would be wrong here. Injury. Why? Why is injury wrong?
Yeah, that's wrong.
Why? Not because of parallelism only, but it's even worse. Let's say we don't have this parallelism. That injury would be fine.
Mm,
What's the difference between injured and was injured? Is it the same thing?
no,
What's the difference? In?
it's not a verb.
It's
Injured,
not a verb.
injured 3 times, or was injured 3 times.
Injured 3 times could be a verb, but
It's
it
a
could be a
simple.
verb in the active form.
Okay, and the other one was in the passive.
Right? And what is the difference? Is there
We
a difference between the active and the passive, or they're both saying the same thing?
there are difference. We prefer always the active, right?
If the meaning is the same, we prefer the active, yes. But sometimes you're going to need the passive. Sometimes you're going to need the passive. In this case, you need the passive. Why? Because she didn't injure nobody. She was injured. She received injuries. If you say that she injured, you're saying she hurt somebody else. You see?
Oh, okay. Yes.
So there's a huge difference there. So in this case, the story tells you this girl, she was injured. She received injuries. Okay. So that's what we have. Number 4 here. No, number 4. Now number this one here. Okay. Number no, we did this one. I think some. This was too hard. This one 2.3. No, that's too difficult. Let's go here to the lessons. Okay. You are gonna have to redo a lot of things though here. Just right now, yeah, we need to practice more. Let's go here to number 1, subject verb agreement. Okay, let's start here with no, this one's too easy. Oh, okay. How do you do this one? Number 3. The answer here is A. What's the mistake with the other ones?
Squares. So the first one is there is a parallelism between recorded and thinking, and that's not correct.
Comparison between recording and thinking. On which one?
Letter B, thinking of
Okay. Recorded. Okay, recorded.
yes,
Okay,
thinking.
it seems like there's a parallelism, right? And yeah, that wouldn't make sense. Good. What else?
Who once had those. Well, again, had thought of Native American letters and recorded.
Okay,
So that's the difference, right?
that's I'm sorry.
Because we're comparing had thought,
Hmm.
who once had thoughts, and recorded by missionaries.
Okay, is that wrong?
Mm, had thought is past perfect, right?
I thought is a past perfect. Yes.
Recorded is a past simple.
Recorded is a simple past. Yes.
Well, squares who once had thought. So that overlapping is not correct. The time.
Why time overlap?
No, no, no. I mean, so the oral narrative were recorded by missionaries or anthropologists, and before that could be like the who once had thought of scholars who once had thought of Latin American literatures.
The past perfect is wrong, right? Okay,
Yes.
but because that action of thinking was not before what? I wouldn't have that other action that comes after. So that have thought is not okay. Very good so far. Okay, that passed perfect. It's incorrect.
Okay. Native American literatures, which songs corresponds to words today or a narrative. Okay, so after which, in both cases, there is no verb,
Which in both cases there is no
and
verb.
also is modifying literatures.
It's modified literatures. That's sometimes you're only gonna have which plus verb. If you have which plus verb, that's a relative. Yeah. But which can also be a subordinator, so you could have which plus the subject plus a verb. So the fact that which doesn't have a verb, that's not a problem.
Okay, but and the fact that is modifying literatures.
That's fine because literatures, which some scholars thought, that's fine. Las cuales.
Okay, some scholars is plural. Okay,
Now, notice though, there's a huge split. We have to go through the splits. That's a way to do it fast.
okay.
There's a huge split here.
Native American literatures.
The subject, right? They're changing the subject.
Yes, yes, because the first one is scholars, and here is Native American literatures.
Yes.
Okay, so that's wrong, right?
But why though? We have to explain why.
Ah, okay. How
I have
it
to explain always why. Yes.
because
And not because we change the subject, the change the subject is not wrong. I mean, it could give indications that it's wrong, but we have to say why that's wrong.
it's not because it's too different from the original meaning.
No, but that's not a way to do it. And
Okay,
remember, we have steps here. We have 1, 2, 3. If you do that on the simulation, you're going to get a very, very low score.
okay.
You're going to fall into every trap set by the GMAT,
Uh,
right? We have steps here. We have to want to eliminate because of the actual reasons.
okay.
Have 6 steps of elimination.
Ah, okay. The first one is ungrammatically.
All right, it could be a grammatical, could be changing meaning. All right, but then we have to find whenever they change the subject is always related to what? To the verb.
To the
So
verb,
we have to
yes.
check the verbs that they are using. Are they using the same verbs? Maybe they're changing, right?
Words
What
will
type of
be.
verb are they using? So that's what we should be trying to look for.
You're right. Native American literatures. Uh, uh, in the first one, Native American literatures. No, words or narrative recording. In the first one, there's no verb, or I can see verb with some of those both.
Okay, the second one, which one's the verb then? And then the last one.
Thinking, right?
Thinking could be a verb.
No, there's not a verb. Thinking,
Okay, be careful what we say. We don't
think,
want to make mistakes that are too easy.
thinking they were solely or a narrative
Remember, when you have an ing, the ing can only be a verb, can only become a verb when you have a verb to be.
to be. Yes, and
Right?
thinking they were
Is thinking, are thinking, those could be verbs. No, nothing else.
Native American literatures. Speech with some scholars once, comma, is that's incorrect, right?
Some scholars wants comma. That's why.
Because it looks like the is lack of um, logic.
Could be a little incorrect, yeah. But that's not the main thing though. There's a
Thinking they were
huge thing here, huge thing. What is this verb? You have to find a verb though. 'Cause that's not difficult. It's this one
now
here, understand.
understand.
That's the verb for the first one.
Native American literatures understand this body of work to consist of both oral. So that's nonsensical or not logical.
Right, so letter A has to be the one because scholars can understand, literatures can't. You see?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go here, number 4. What's the answer for number 4?
Neanderthals. There is a parallelism with that marker, and so where.
And so yep, could be.
And in that case, we're comparing so where so is referring to the previous clause, right? Previous
It's referring to the
sentence.
previous clause. Yeah,
So where the Neanderthal vocals track resemble the apes. The question here is what could be without language?
okay, very good.
The vocal tracks. The vocal tracks, right? Or
The vocal
the
tracts can be without a language. Can a
no,
tract have a language?
no, it has to be the Neanderthals.
Can the Neanderthals have a language?
No, without language. Hmm. The Neanderthal vocal track resemble the apes. Well, there's only two options: or the vocal
Right.
tracks.
So which one do you think makes more sense? Very good.
Mm, and so we're probably without language. The Neanderthals, right?
The Neanderthals, okay, because in order for you to have a language, you have to be able to think. So it's got to be a living creature, right? So no, the vocal tract. So which ones get eliminated?
No, C, D, and E.
Nice. So between those two, what do you do?
Resembling. So apes look like have is missing the possessive because
Apes is missing the possessive. Apes is missing the possessive.
no, the
Oh,
noun or well, yes.
okay. There is one keyword you have to analyze in here, which is the keyword those. What do we use those for?
It's a pronoun, right? For it's a
Right.
plural to indicate those.
Yes.
Okay. To nouns.
Two nouns. What do I mean two nouns? What is that and those? What is the theory of that and those? What do they do?
Uh, they refer to. So there is this and this, and that and those. Two clauses.
No.
Oh, two.
Those and that and those are pronouns that refer to nouns.
That.
And they copy.
Oh yes,
Copy
copy a
pronouns.
noun.
These are pronouns actually. Okay. Pronouns that usually you will see them when you are making comparisons. Comparisons. So in this case, those is giving us a copy of what?
Neanderthals.
And the other, are you sure?
That resemble those of the apes. Well, the vocal track of the yes, the vocal track, and it's
The
in
vocal
singular.
tract,
It's in
which
singular.
is the singular, right?
Yes.
Okay. So is that okay or not?
No.
No, easy. Okay. There we go. B. go with here this one here. How do we do this? Which one's the answer and why?
Which one is the answer? So we're talking about the number. Number is singular, so half is incorrect.
Numbers are very good, so half is incorrect. Okay, then what?
Mm. Mm. Email. So there is a marker from X or correlative, right? From X to Y.
Okay.
So letter C.
Why?
There is a marker from X to Y, and the other up to from. Okay, so from 81 million up to nearly. Okay. So also in letter D, Colorado's is referring with the. It looks like he's missing a word. Letter
Let's see.
letter
So
D is
what is wrong? Which one's wrong and why?
letter D is incorrect.
Letter D is incorrect. Okay, why?
First of all, because it's kind of wordy.
That's the most important thing. It's wordy.
No, it's not the most important.
Remember, what are the steps? Wordiness is step number 5.
Okay, an area
So
of.
we shouldn't. I mean, yeah, it's one thing we should have that in mind, but that's not the most important thing, unless you've already checked all the other.
This is the size of Colorado's, but Colorado's what? It doesn't say anything more.
It doesn't have to have a noun after.
No?
No, but well, they're implying that it's Colorado size, which would make it redundant. The size of Colorado's size. Yeah, that's redundant. Up to is also grow up. Grow up is redundant. It cannot grow down,
Yes.
right? So letter C because of that. Okay, good. Let's go here to number 8. How do we do this?
Out of America's fascination with all things. Could be letter C.
Could be letter C. Okay, why?
Uh,
How do you eliminate the other ones?
first of all, there is a split, right?
There's splits. Yeah, yep, there are a couple of splits.
So the first two ones, things and thick, and then and thick things.
Okay.
Okay, yes. Also, here we're talking about fascination. The fascination is in singular, so half grown. It's not correct.
Fascination cannot be the subject. Be careful.
Oh, sorry. Oh, mm, fast growing market. So things or things actic is a subject, right? or
Things and tick cannot be the subject either.
is a
Why?
because it's inside a preposition with?
Exactly. Because of
Okay, so that's not a subject. Number four, bicon. Four is also for bygone. So make sure that are bringing back the chase down and the luck for bathtub. There's a subject there. Is that plus a verb is like you said a
the
relative?
subject will be here in all cases market. How do we know that? Number one, because resignation is inside out, which is a prepositional phrase. Things and tick will be inside with. A styles is inside for. Furniture and fixtures is inside of. So the only thing that could be the subject is market. And that's going to be very important for us to understand the whole idea, to understand the whole meaning story.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, the things and things. So excuse me. Sorry, what did you say was the subject?
Market.
Market. So
Market is the only thing that could be the subject. That is not inside a middleman.
yeah, middleman, right? The market is in singular, right? So
The market is in singular, yes.
we can use a half.
We can use half, yes. That's how then. The ones that have half are wrong.
Has grown market. The things that aren't ticks has grown. Things brings back. So okay. Can I now look for the last word of all the sentences? Bringing difference between bringing and bring. So,
Yes, that's a split. That's a second split.
okay, so that plus brings a relative that has something to do with this.
Yes, it's a relative pronoun. Here they're making a big exception though. But let's see.
That are
Here
bringing
you have one of the biggest exceptions on the whole GMAT.
one of the biggest exceptions.
Yep. Just try to do it, and then you're gonna notice the exception.
Oh my
This
god!
was a hard question.
Today I don't remember almost anything.
Don't worry, just practice. Just have to practice more and study, and you'll get it.
My brain is very tired. So okay, things that are ticks has grown. Measure with those things that are ticks has grown marketable by golden style feature and features that bring back the is bringing back. So aside of everything, I can talk about preference. That how we prefer the base form.
Nope. No, no,
No,
no. We don't prefer base form. Yeah, I mean, we could prefer. It's not base form. You're saying you prefer simple present.
yeah, simple present.
Okay. Yeah, but that's not important here. It's not important because there's a huge difference here with the number. Letter B is a singular,
Oh
the other
yes.
two are plural. So when you have so big a difference, then we can talk about anything regarding preferences or things like that. It's pure grammar or meaning.
Okay. Yes. So, but we're comparing that bring is the market, right?
Yes, very good. So which one's your answer?
Bring. Could be letter B.
Letter B has to be the answer. Correct. Because the market is the one. Notice they are like they're making a big exception regarding the flexibility of the touch rule because market is kind of far away. But that whole thing is a noun. That's why I can modify it. When you see that it's bringing, normally you would think that the noun that is getting modified are furniture and fixtures because those are the ones that are the closest, right? But the whole noun would be market for bygone styles of furnitures and fixtures. You see? So it still could be modifying market. Okay. Good. So now we're gonna go to a different lesson. So this we've done this one. So at least one thing out. To the next class, we won't be reviewing this lesson number 1 anymore. We're gonna go to lesson number 2. Let's go here. This one. Let's start with this one. Number 1. How do we do it?
I thought we were doing parallelism. We were doing just subject and verb agreement.
We were doing subject verb agreement. Yeah, but we are applying everything. Right now, it's not about the lesson only. I mean, yeah, all of this will include parallelism, but they will include other things too. Because the first time we checked them, we just went and did parallelism. We didn't do the other parts of the exercises. That's why we have to do them again.
Okay. From there, let's give it a try. Okay, so the marker here is end. Okay, so we have provided,
Mm-hmm.
organized, undefined. I think letter A is correct. Oh, well, annulation involved distribution and consumption. So yes, is correct letter A?
Yes. Why are the others wrong?
Okay. First of all, I uh, and defining rights and obligations involved in the distribution and consumption. Defining rights, that's like a consequence or a context, right?
Defining rights and obligation.
Or
It's
right.
consequence or context. That could be. Yes, that could be a consequence or a context.
Okay. Defining rights and obligations. Rights. Right is a concrete noun.
Right.
Rights.
Right is a noun. Yes, a concrete noun. Exactly.
And obligations
Also.
is action noun or a
But
concrete.
notice in all of those cases, you have the same thing. Right? Rights and obligations are always together, so we shouldn't be reviewing that.
Okay, okay. Involved under distribution. So their distribution.
Parallelism first. That's the most important split here, the beginning.
Okay.
This was an intermediate question, kind of easy. So you will have splits. You have to go through the splits.
Okay. Well, I said that letter A is the answer. Then the
Yes.
letter A and letter.
Question would be, why do you need an and here? Why would it be wrong not to have an and?
So
That's a question we have to ask ourselves.
we're given a list.
All right, we're setting a list. Okay, and what is a list? What are the elements of the list? What are the elements of that list?
Okay. What are the elements of the? Okay. Here is a verb, right?
Here it is a verb.
In the past
Okay,
tense,
society organized, provided,
undefined.
undefined. Okay, so you have that list. Very good. So you need undefined. So the only two that could be are A and C. You see?
Yes.
Okay. Then what?
Its distribution. I know that consumption is simple gerund, right? No, it's an action noun, right?
Yes.
And distribution is also an action noun.
Distribution is actually whatever ends in shun is an action now.
Okay, in next and define rights and obligation, undefined rights and obligations as they were involved in its distribution and conception. Mm, so define is it's okay, rights and obligations.
Okay, good.
So it's this in its distribution, it is referring to something to
It is referring to something.
it's.
Yep, let's see. Let's see if it's referring to something or not. What do you think?
Well, it tries to refer to the society. In its, no, sorry, as they were involved in its distribution, trying to refer to resources.
Trying to refer to resources. Hmm. Yes, I mean, originally it's a distribution of consumption of resources. That's a good thing. So it's the same. Yeah, is this it's referring to resources also in letter C or not? No, because resources is plural, right?
Yes.
So it can refer. So there you go. That's the thing. That it is incorrect. That it is referring to something else, and therefore it would change the meaning, or would be incorrect. That's the way we do it. What about number two?
Promotions, retirement, data, and election program. So here, first we have the logical part, right?
Here we have the logical. Okay, let's see.
Yeah. So that can't be approved.
That can be proved. So that is out. Okay, good. So we remove that from A. Then what?
Letter B also
Letter B also. Letter B, it's not in the list.
in the list.
Letter B is different again. Way different.
Other actions which have been approved. The board of directors, along with that. No, but it says that have been approved at the main meeting of the board of directors, along with that.
Along with that.
That doesn't refer that is talking about debts,
Okay, but they're talking about that. But why is it wrong though?
because
It's not the same thing you said.
yeah, you can
You're
approve.
approved at the meetings along with that. Okay, they are saying along with it. Yeah, I mean maybe they're linking it to approve. Maybe they're linking with directors, and directors are together with it. So yes, that's wrong. Okay, but it's different in position. It's well different than A, right? What about the other ones? Letter C has that in there. Between these two, how do you do it?
Meeting in May, the promotion during the approved with the direction. Oh, so here is meeting in May. The promotions and retirement can meet, right?
And that's a modifier, right?
Yeah.
Modifiers. Very good. Okay. So here's the number three. How do we do number three?
Shift work equation based on the study of the human sleep cycle have reduced sinuses. So here the the parallelism is with the marker and. Um, After and we have half raised. So half raised is the present perfect tense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, reproduction. So there is no parallel with the other verbs.
It is in parallel with other verbs. Mm, which one is in parallel to other verbs?
So sleeping on the job, fatigue among shift worker, and half raised. Production
Fatigue
efficiency.
among workers and have raised. Okay, sleeping fatigue and have raised. Okay, so which one's wrong in there?
Which one's wrong?
Right. Which one? Why is it wrong though? You have to eliminate, right? Which ones have you eliminated?
So based on started raising sleeping on the job. So there is like okay, I'm a bit confused. Uh, so we're talking about the verbs, right?
I'm not sure. What is verbs?
For the parallelism.
Okay. Okay, the parallelism is verbs.
Yeah.
Okay, and why would that be wrong?
No, that's okay. Fatigue among shift workers and half raised.
Fatigue is a verb though.
No, it's a noun.
Okay, so that should be a quick elimination.
Okay.
If you are making fatigue parallel to have raised, that should be a quick, very quick elimination, right? Because what happens here is we have a list, right? Have reduced, number one, sickness. Number two, sleeping on the job. Number three, fatigue. And have raised. Have raised is a verb, the other three are nouns. Even though sleeping is a gerund, it's still a noun, so by exception, we can include it. A gerund is a noun, right? It's not the best one, but here it's not underlined, so there's nothing we can do about it. Now, have raised is a full verb. It could be parallel to have reduced, but not to fatigue, sickness, or sleeping on the job, so that's out. We need an and here at the end. That's how we interpret that. We need an and at the end to end the list with the word fatigue.
Okay. And fatigue among shift workers were rising.
So we eliminate the ones that don't have and.
Yes.
All right.
Shift workers were rising. The your question business have reduced. Have reduced was lowered. It's not like what is a bit redundant.
It is redundant. Very good. Was lower and have reduced redundant, so that's out. You can see. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Good. Let's go here to number 4. How do we do that one?
Oh my god. The way accepted Big Bang theory holds that the universe began in 10 to 20 billion years ago and has been expanding ever since. The widely accepted Big Bang theory holds talk about that theory, Big Bang theory holds that the universe began that the beginning holds the beginning then I can make a split between the first three ones and last two ones.
Okay. Some of them start with that, and some others don't. Right.
Yes.
All right.
So that in letter C, that the beginning of the is a way too much change, or no?
The beginning is way too much change. Okay. So you're going directly for changing meaning.
Yes, because they changed the noun.
Okay, that's fine, but that's not a strong thing though.
No,
You're going directly. I mean, we have 6 steps, right?
I don't. And
You
change
go
is number
directly here,
4.
number 4. Like if there was nothing to do with these numbers, that's not a good
Okay.
choice.
The beginning of the universe was an explosive instant that has expanded. Mm, it has something to be with the second that clause or that word
It has something to do with the second that clause.
that has expanded. That the beginning of the universe was explosive instant 30 years ago that has expanded ever since.
Okay, but what did you do with the first split though? You said at the beginning there's a split.
Yes, with
Some
that.
of them have it, but you didn't assess it. I mean, you look at it and then you just left it. Why?
The first three ones we're talking about the universe. Well, that's a noun. It's a noun with a verb, so it's a main
Hmm.
clause.
Hmm.
And the other part is has to be a main clause also.
What other part?
So because there is an end,
There's an ant.
yes, in the first two ones, and has been
Okay, so they on the right you have to have a main clause too.
on the right.
Yeah, the other part you meant the right because I'm not sure what you meant the other part.
Yes, sorry, the right, I meant the right. Yes.
On the right. Okay, if it's on the right, no, that's not true.
Okay.
Now, always study pluralism on the right, not on the left.
Okay. So have been expanding is have been is the verb, and expanding is modifier of that verb. It's it's an adverb. Expanding, no, had been expanding.
Has been sense a verb. That's it.
Okay,
You don't need to validate any further. A
sorry.
verb is enough. So
So
do you have a verb on the left?
then we
Yes.
have, I, yes,
What is that verb on the left?
had become in letter B.
Had begun. Letter B and letter A began. Okay, so those could work. All right. There's a
Oh,
bigger difference though. The fact that you have that after holds, that you don't have that has to do also with meaning, right? The logic. Are you hold? If you hold, you have a verb, right? And you want to state an opinion, a theory, an event, a circumstance, you have to put that event with a clause. And if you put a clause, you have to add that. If you, on the other hand, are holding a thing, for example, I'm holding a cup, I'm holding my phone, then you just go with the noun. Here, what are they holding? Holding that something is going on, or they're holding a thing? They're holding actually a concept, right? So it has to go with that. They are not holding the universe. They are not like Atlas, right? Lifting the universe. So that doesn't make sense. They are not holding the beginning. So those two are quickly out.
okay.
Okay? They're actually out fairly quickly. And then we have the other three. And then you can start validating parallelism if you want to. Or the lack of parallelism in letter C, because in letter C there is no marker, right? And of course there's a changing meaning. So let's see.
That the universe had become in explosive instant. So I have a past perfect in letter B.
Mm-hmm.
So that's correct in both
I'm
sides.
sorry.
That's correct. Had begun or had been expanding. Had
No, no,
begun.
you tell me. Is it good or not? How do you check a past perfect?
I don't remember. I don't remember the part. Became.
Past perfect is a past of the past, right? So in order for you to
Ah,
put
yeah,
a past
yeah.
perfect, you need to have
Yes.
another action in the past, and this past perfect would be happening, starting and finishing before this other action in the past,
Okay.
right?
Yes. Yes. So had been expanding. The universe had begun explosive, but before that it had been expanding. That's not correct.
That's not correct. Okay, that's good because having expanded, you have two past perfects,
Yes.
okay, and you don't have another thing in the past, so that's out. So you're left between A and C only here.
The beginning was. Okay. So yeah, that's uh, process elimination number 4. Change the mean.
Okay, change the meaning. Now, what's the big change though? There is a big change. Not only because they start with the beginning,
The
because they
noun.
could start with the beginning and they could just give you the same meaning also. There is something even stronger, which is this part here. Go that has expanded. What is it has expanded modifying?
Yeah, should be the universe, but here is referring to the beginning.
Nope. No. It's not
Mm,
referred to the beginning. Touch rule.
oh yes,
How is it gonna modify the beginning?
for Dutch rule must modify the noun next to it. So
It could be years ago or it could be instant, 10 years ago. Those are nouns that could get modified. Either way, we're not modifying the universe, which is what originally they were talking about. The one that had been expanding was the universe, not the other. Yeah.
okay,
So, okay. It's been a tough day today. Okay,
yes,
been a tough day.
I couldn't.
Now I'm kind of surprised though. Kind of
Yes,
surprised. What I'm seeing though is something.
okay,
There are several basic things that you haven't been practicing well in the homework. You haven't been doing the homework correctly. I
okay.
can tell that very quickly. Okay, so ponte las pilas. Ponte las pilas porque si no, todo lo que hemos hecho, que son como 8 clases,
Mhm.
más o menos van a ser en vano. ¿Eh? Porque estos conceptos se olvidan, así como se aprenden, como no es algo que te va a servir para la vida, simplemente para un examen, se olvidan bien rápido.
Hay una manera de recordar. Lo que pasa es que como estoy teniendo mucho menos tiempo para estudiar, eh,
¿Eh?
estoy tratando de recordar lo máximo posible, pero como es mucha teoría.
Es bastante teoría. Hazte buenos apuntes y mantén tus apuntes bien. ¿Por qué? Porque cuando empecemos a meter, claro, tú ya estás viendo mate, más estás avanzando en mate. Nosotros le vamos a meter critical reasoning y reading comprehension. Reading comprehension tiene poca teoría, más que todo práctica. El critical reasoning sí tiene su teoría. Entonces vas a olvidar ciertas cosas, vas a tener que regresar a tus apuntes y tenerlos, ¿no? La cuestión es que hay cosas que queden integradas, ¿ok? Por
Ujú.
ejemplo, cosas como sujeto-verbo, cosas como paralelismo, la parte básica tiene que estar integrada. Por el momento, ándate, revisa, tú tienes una semana para revisar toda la teoría de sentence correction. Yo te recomendaría flashcards, con todas las reglas de las más básicas. ¿Ok?
Okay,
Y mientras que vas integrando, ya vas botando los flashcards. Las vas botando, hasta que te queden pocas. ¿Ok?
okay.
Acá ha habido errores bien básicos por el momento que no deben haber, para esta parte que no deben haber, y que no estaban habiendo hace 3 o 4 clases. ¿Eh? Ojo, acá me parece que has olvidado ciertas cosas que lo puedes recuperar. Lo bueno es que simplemente es cuestión de recordar, ya no es cuestión de aprender ciertas cosas. Pero el problema es que son varias cosas que tienes que recordar. Todo eso puede ser medio abrumador. ¿Ok?
Okay.
Por eso tómatelo con calma esta semana. Con calma me refiero a que haz las cosas diario. No esperes hasta el próximo lunes o martes para. Yo me pondría a trabajar desde ahora para que el próximo miércoles llegues. Yo creo que en una semana sí lo puedes recuperar. Y recién cuando estés recuperado y con todo eso, tú vas a poder agarrar una de estos y poder pues romper la oración. ¿No?
Sí.
Que en este momento no hemos hecho con ninguna. En ningún caso has agarrado y dicho, la B está mal por esto, la C está mal por esto. Porque no estás recordando la teoría básica. Entonces todavía estás como muy tibio al momento de la práctica. Y eso quiere decir, por eso te digo, que la tarea no ha sido hecha de forma correspondiente.
Okay.
Porque
Sí,
si
no.
hubieras tenido práctica con la tarea, ya tendríamos integrado los pasos, los 6 pasos, y
Ujú.
tendrías también más integrado tu buscar splits. Salirte y decir, acá tengo esto de acá. Estás usando muy poco los splits.
Okay.
Entonces, rehaz tu tarea en tiempo y después rehazlas. O sea, número uno, revisa todo, everything. Si quieres, mírate el video también de Sentence Correction que dura 4 horas. Eso te va a dar como una cosa. En ese video está todo lo básico. No hay nada intermedio, ¿no? Nosotros hemos visto cosas básicas y bastante intermedias. En el video no hay nada intermedio, solamente casi todo básico. Pero igual te va a decir más o menos qué cosas son básicas y qué cosas sí, sí o sí tienes que tener bien para lidiar con las preguntas fáciles. ¿Ok?
Ok.
Una vez que has hecho eso, ponte a ver la lección número 1, 2 y 3, lo que tenemos para hoy. ¿Ok? Pero a estos ejercicios es como que lo tienes que romper. O sea, tienes que
Ok.
tenerla así, pasearte con estos ejercicios. Es lo que queremos en estos.
Sí, al principio me cuesta identificar correctamente, o sea, si estoy viendo modifiers, estoy viendo parallelism. O sea, parallelism es más fácil porque están los markers, ¿no?
Sí,
Entonces,
aunque no, fuera de eso te has pasado varios marcadores.
sí, sí, no, hoy
Pasado
día
varios marcadores. O sea, no,
estoy...
no estás como, digamos, viendo. Lo bueno es que al último ya como pronombres sí los agarraba, decías, ya estos pronombres son así. Pero eso tiene que ser con todo. Tiene que ser con marcadores, tiene que ser con modificadores, tiene que ser con comparaciones, cuando veas comparaciones, ¿no? Ese tipo de cosas. ¿Ok?
Ok.
Y si te estás retrotrayendo varias cosas, varios conceptos antiguos, o sea, que lo estás sacando acá, como que prefiero esto, hay una preferencia, esas cosas. Así comenzaste al comienzo, ¿no? Antes de que tengamos clases comenzadas y estabas cambiando y ahora como que te estás retrotrayendo un poco porque es tú, digamos, lo que tienes más asentado, ¿no?
Ok.
Entonces,
Ujú,
repasa más la teoría como para que esa información que tengas como que la suplantes con la teoría que hemos estado viendo,
ujú.
¿ok? Que
Ok.
no es tanto más de preferencias, porque te vas mucho por las preferencias. Y esas preferencias en verdad solamente te van a ayudar en las preguntas bien fáciles.
Ok.
O sea, todas las difíciles te van a poner trampas que no las vas a poder sacar por preferencias. ¿No? Entonces, por eso queremos aplicar los 6 pasos siempre por gramática, meaning, ver si tiene sentido o no. Y después ya, después de eso, sí, ya como segunda herramienta, tal vez por ahí la cuestión de ver si es el meaning original, ¿no? Pero
Ok.
no evitar la gramática y sobre todo la gramática no se va a evitar cuando veas splits, que no lo hemos estado viendo, y segundo, cuando veas bien los keywords, que algunos keywords los has visto y otros los has pasado. Pero la idea es que en las preguntas fáciles sí veas casi todos los keywords, porque eso es lo que va a permitir que hagas estos ejercicios con el tiempo debido y lo que es más que ahorres, pues, ¿no? Porque con esos ejercicios fáciles tienes que ahorrar para poder dárselo a los ejercicios más difíciles.
Ok.
En promedio tienes 1 minuto y medio para sense correction. Claro, ahorro 30 segundos en los fáciles y das 30 segundos en los difíciles, cosa que con eso sí compites para sacar tipo 680 a más, ¿ok?
Ok.
Porque es importante saber que para verbal, que tú tengas un 680 más, vas a tener que sí o sí tener algunas preguntas difíciles bien. No todas, pero algunas bien. O sea, vas a tener que tener, para 680 tienes que tener todas las fáciles, no todas, no, pero tal vez digamos, un par de errores de fáciles,
Ok.
nada más, no más, o sea, ser casi infalibles con las fáciles en todo el examen verbal, contando con critical reason, sense correction, reading comprehension. Y también un par de errores en intermedias,
Ok.
casi infalible en intermedias. Si fallas todas las difíciles, no hay problema, igual sacas un 670, 680, 690 tal. Si empiezas a hacer algunas de las difíciles, ciertas difíciles, ya por ahí ya llegas a 700, 710, dependiendo de cuántas difíciles haces, ¿no? Si sacas casi todas las difíciles bien, entonces ya sacas 750, 760, dependiendo de lo que sale. Pero el secreto es no fallar las fáciles. No fallar las fáciles. Y
Ujú,
tener las intermedias casi también todas bien. Y si quieres difíciles, sí aplicar los pasos, porque los pasos son muy importantes. ¿Ok? Entonces, bien, revisa tu teoría y enfócate bastante en esas. Te va a tomar tiempo ver esto de acá, pero dale su tiempo. Y sobre todo, acuérdate trata. Y lo bueno que en las tareas tienes los videos.
ujú.
Míralos. Mira los videos, trata de hacerlo en el mismo modo. Y si hay cosas que no entiendes o cosas que no te quedan 100% claras, pregúntalas.
Ok.
¿Ok?
Ujú.
Hay cosas que en los videos se ven pues teorías que no son solamente de la lección, ¿no? Que son otras, pero los videos tienen, digamos, la forma más convencional y más rápida de poder resolucionar. No es la única forma, pero es más rápida.
Ok. Estoy en route.
¿Ok? Perfecto, así quedamos, Josué, y entonces ya
Gracias.
estamos acá hablando al siguiente miércoles, te veo, ¿no?
Sí.
Muy bien, muy bien. Pasa un buen fin, ¿ok?
Gracias.
Cuídate, chao, chao, buenas noches.